Hi, this is Joan from Wrazel. We're here with Everett Woods. We just finished talking to your partner, Freddie Sage, and talking about your flagship brand, White Angel. And I'm really excited to hear more about your company from you.
Great. Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah.
My name is Everett Woods. I'm the co-president of Green Holdings Group. We are a fully vertically integrated state licensed company from seed to sale. Our facilities are in Adelanto, California. We have facilities up north as well. We are building out our dispensary in Van Nuys right now and our flagship CBD retail store in downtown Culver City.
Wow, sounds very exciting.
It is. We're very excited.
So just like an overview, what are some things that your company does?
We literally take all of our brands and our products from seed to sale. We have recently won the Hitman competition for #1 testing THC licensed compliant product for cannabis in the state.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. That tested at 32%, so we're very proud of that. We from seed to sale. So we have manufacturing, volatile and non-volatile, or type 6, type 7 volatile extraction. We have ice wax manufacturing in our facilities. We have a fully modular commercial kitchen that's GMP certified, national food standards, everything there. We also have our dispensary coming online. We're very excited about that, as well as our own distribution.
Cool. Very exciting.
Thank you. Yes.
Why was Green Holdings Group founded?
Green Holdings Group is interesting. So Green Holdings Group is a family-run business, privately held, and the thing that I love about it is the story of the family. You know, when Mr. Z, the patriarch of the family, moved here from Jordan as a young guy who didn't even speak the language, he crossed the oceans and he came here to make a better life for him and for hopefully what would be his family. And I think that when he arrived here with less than $20 in his pocket and a little duffel bag, he had no idea what he would be able to build, and with that tenacity and perseverance, that he would be able to really build a little empire for him and his family. I don't think that he had any idea what he would do. He started working with Jack Herrera. Back in the day, they were buddies. They had a tire shop, and Jack had a store beside him, and they just got it. And if you trace those roots all the way to today, the work that he's done with his two sons and now them leading this company to where we're going today, I think it's a really incredible just story about family, and we really treat everyone in our family that works with us as our family. So
Wow, that's amazing. That could be like a whole movie. It sounds like the origin story, you know?
Exactly.
That's very cool.
And actually, I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think if there's one thing that I like to tell people about what we do and why we do it is a lot of people are coming to the cannabis business now because they just want to make money. The Sages were here. They were pushing for Prop 215. We are, in a lot of ways, literally the reason that cannabis exists as a legal thing in the entire state. Freddie himself, if he didn't tell you, literally went to the city of Adelanto, saw they were in debt, and figured out a way to do something that is literally changing that community, from brand new fire trucks they never had, books in schools for kids, turkey drives, bike drives to make sure kids have bikes, and this community is growing and flourishing. We see new roads going in, new infrastructure, new retail. So it's not that the Sages and I are just building something to make money. We're building something to create deep roots, to build, and for other people to build lives for their own families.
That's amazing. I think it's extremely important for people to know that, so thank you for sharing, because it's not just about the money, and it shouldn't be, especially if you're getting into this industry when it's so challenging.
And this industry is built to heal people.
Yeah.
And what we should do as a company is make sure that we're doing that in more ways than just cannabis.
Wow.
So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you faced that, you could help others with?
All of the things. No, I think that one thing that people have been doing in this business, which has been interesting to me, is they've rushed in. They didn't have institutional memory. They didn't hire people who understood the business. They didn't work on their business practices. They don't understand compliance. When they built out their facilities, they were in such a rush to get operational that they got operational and then realized they forgot all the efficiencies, all the technologies, all the things that actually make a company sing. How do you bring down your margins? You have to build in the technologies. You have to make sure you have the right teams. You have to make sure that those teams have your best interest at heart. Really understanding the vastly changing, quick moving regulations, and making sure that everyone that is a leader within your organization understands how those regs affect the bottom line to a company, being able to foresee where the regs are going and making sure that you're setting yourself up for success is important. And one thing that I've noticed is so many people rushed in, or they just rushed in with money, but they didn't rush in with a true plan, and they didn't rush in with their eye toward the future. Everyone keeps thinking of what's now, and I want to think about what's next.
That's a really great way of thinking about it.
Well,
cool. So how does Green Holdings Group differentiate itself from the competition?
well, first, we're vertically integrated. We can manage every process, and we can control our own supply chain. I think that that's very important. When you come to us and you work with us, we are connecting all the complex pieces of cannabis and CBD under one roof. There's nothing that you'll need that you won't be able to get within our group, our people, our resources. And we have some of the best people, not just in the state, but in the country on our team, rooting for us, working for us, inventing new things, finding new technologies, and implementing them into everything that we do.
So, I mean, on that note, it sounds like, every cannabis company would want to work with you. What is your criteria on choosing who to work with?
Why?
Okay.
Why should I partner with you? Why should you partner with us? We firmly believe in creating mutually beneficial situations. I want to understand why you're in this business. I want to know that I can trust you as an individual. I want to understand that you have the same desire that we have, which is to produce quality product that actually heals people, that makes people's lives better. If I can sense that all you want is the money, that's okay. But then I don't really necessarily think that you might want to be a part of the creative process and some of those decisions, because at the end of the day, if my name's going to be on it or the Sage's names are going to be on it, it's about quality. So when we look at who we partner with and why we would take on a new client, whether it's for consulting or for compliance or for operations and facility build out, I want to know that you have your act together and that you're going to come through on your end of the bargain, because my team will always do the same.
I mean, that's expected. That's a great way to describe it, because why would you want a partner?
It should be expected, but my experience in life tells me that is not how everyone operates.
Yeah.
So we go through a pretty stringent vetting process on who we'll do business with.
That's amazing. What I meant was, like, the way you explained it, it just seems so clear and easy. It makes sense.
Yes.
But that's really great. So what's the most valuable lesson you've learned while growing and scaling your organization?
To think like a small mom and pop shop, but perform like the biggest guy on the planet. So when we make decisions, we're making decisions from the corporate structure of the company, but I don't believe in waste. I firmly believe that efficiencies are important. I firmly believe that there has to be a clear understanding of what the vision of the company is, and that every person that is leading a division of that company needs to be able to articulate that back to me or Freddie or Sammy or Dion. If they're not doing that, then I'm going to get 3 different results for the same exact thing. And I don't want that. We can't afford that. So we think like a small family company, but we perform like a big corporation.
Wow. That's impressive. I mean, that's why you got to where you are right now. So that's very cool. But I know we already talked about challenges, but what were some challenges that you got that you didn't anticipate?
All of the things. No, let's see. I mean, I did not anticipate how long it takes to do a thing right at this level. Because you're not just thinking about launching a brand into the business. It depends. Like for us, we're vertically integrated, right? So it's, okay, well, we want to launch that brand, but we need to make sure the flower's dialed in. Oh, we need to make sure the flower's dialed in. Well, we need to have that room built. Oh, that room needs to be built. Well, we got to get the lights up there. And wait, that spectrum isn't working right. And oh, we have to get a new server that's built to do that. Like those little things and how all those dots connect together. There's no way, without having been in the trenches and doing it and seeing what happens when you do X versus Y, there's no way that I could have predicted that. And now see, as we sit with other clients, outside clients or partners, and can go, oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just that, oh my God, the sky is falling thing that we've gone through in this process has been so tremendously invaluable to the company. We know what being in the trenches is, and now we know how to execute even better.
And you know how to build a brand from bottom
Scratch.
up, so that really helps.
Yes.
What are some marketing challenges that Green Holdings Group has faced?
So everyone wants to rush to the market with everything. So first, quality is important. So once you identify the quality, I feel very much that for us, I'm always pushing the team to think about the story. When someone buys a product and you want to retain that customer, like, you need to let them know what that life is like if they are imbibing your product or using your product or giving it as a gift. I want people to understand the story of why and how our products were even created. I want people to feel that it's okay. So the marketing that you do has to be twofold. It has to be first educational, then it has to help people understand what their life will be like if they use it. And then it also has to be clear that we are compliant and all of that stuff is in play. And coming from a television background, it's so imperative that people really think about the why. Oh, I just want to do a vape pen. That's really great. So do 5,000 other people. Yeah. So why your vape pen? Why now? Why this market? Why that color? Why this flavor? Why that distillate? Like, think through the why of everything that you do. And if you don't have an answer for that, don't do it, because if we don't have an answer for it and if I'm not satisfied, we don't do it.
And I mean, that would probably apply to everything, like not just the cannabis industry.
Absolutely.
So you would think that, so the cannabis industry, even though it's extremely new, obviously, and still evolving, you would say that a lot of the practices that you would practice with a startup outside the industry would apply?
I think that that's a great question. I think that one of the things that people have to keep in mind is there's no empirical data. You know, I can't just say, well, show me the past 15 years of X and I want to see trends and things like that. However, there are industries that do share parallels with our industry. So a lot of what we do internally is very deep focus grouping, very deep analytics, and then sitting down and looking and saying, okay, well, that's a pancake and that's an egg and that's a piece of bacon over here, and together there are all these things, but if I put them together, that kind of makes a breakfast platter. Okay, cool. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make a breakfast platter now. So sometimes just being able to allow yourself to step out of the deep passion that the people in this industry have and look objectively at the market and understand that market. That's, I think, what startups aren't doing. It just costs so much to get in this business, and if you don't have the right direction and the right people advising you and leading you and performing for you, you can get lost in the shuffle very quickly.
Yeah, and I have to agree with that because, you know, we speak to a lot of people who are raising capital or like startups, and I think that is one thing that I see a lot that is missing, that they should apply like that general knowledge to this, because it's not just, it's a new industry so I can do anything and everything will succeed. You really still have to think about it.
And it's like a very costly industry.
Yeah.
You know, just to turn on the lights, you know, isn't cheap. So you really do want to make sure that you've stepped out, you know, what and why. Again, it always goes back to the why. Why are you doing anything? If you don't have the answer, don't do it.
So where do you see the cannabis industry going in the next year, 2, and then 5 years?
I think that there's going to be a lot of consolidations. I think that a lot of people are going to realize that their hubris and egos got in the way of them actually figuring out who are the right people that I need and why do I need them and why did I get into this business in the first place? It can never just be about money. Money's great. Everyone wants money. Everyone wants a nice life. But why are you doing it? Because these hours that you have to work to get this done right, they're hard. And if you don't love it, and if you don't have your why clear, and if you don't have the right people advising you, you're going to wake up one day millions of dollars in debt, wondering why the heck did I get into this business to begin with? So just take the time. Don't be cocky, find the right people, and execute with those people. Build it, not just a team, build an army. You know, you want warriors that have your back, that can spot things for you, that can pick up the phone and say, no, we're not doing that. We're going to call this guy over here, and he's going to make it better. He's going to do it faster, and you're going to be much happier. You know? Yeah. Sometimes just spend a little bit more money, too. You know, people try to skimp in this business, and this is not a business that you can skimp, because you skimp here and now your flower production and your yields are a lot lower here. That means your extraction is a lot lower there. That means the manufacturing is going to take a little bit longer. I mean, like, everything builds on itself. So those little things that people just say, I won't do that, that kills you as well. So I think that the industry is going to consolidate because of that. I think that people are going to get very serious about figuring out why they're in the business to begin with, and I think that they're going to start to strategically decide how they're placing themselves. And we're going to go federally legal here in the next couple of years, right? 2-4 years maybe. And in that time frame, people should be thinking about what do they want to be then and what do they need to do today to make sure that they're positioned for that break. Because once that happens and pharmaceutical, big pharma, and all these other people get into the business, you better have your act together or you're getting pushed out fast.
That's great that you say that, because I was going to ask about that.
Okay.
Do you think that, once it does become federally legal, it's just going to be a couple of giants that run the whole industry? Or do you think because some people started beforehand, they can kind of get a head start on it?
Well, I think the people that are in now and that are setting up their internal structures to be successful and scalable will succeed. But I do think that people are going to sweep in immediately. I mean, how many successful diamond companies are there in the world?
Yeah.
Right? Like, those families and those people came in and said, this is ours and we're taking it, and
Yeah.
so that's what's going to happen in this business as well.
And do you think you guys are situated in the right place to stay
I know
around?
we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. I know you guys bootstrapped your way to here, which kind of made you who you are. Have you ever raised capital or considered raising capital after the fact?
Right now, I just actually read a really interesting article by Kevin Plank in Business Insider last night, and I read it to the team. But what he was talking about is the number one lesson that he learned as he was getting Under Armour up and going. He was broke, he had put everything he had into it, and he started to have a lot of deep regret about, why in the heck did I do this? I'm going to live in a box in an alley with a cat. Like, he was very concerned, and then one thing happened, and then another thing happened, and suddenly the little problems went away. And he said that what he took away from that hardship of getting that company up and running is that never give everything away up front. Do the hard work up front. You want to understand the business better than anybody else. So when you have investors in there, you can tell them, I know you want to do that, but I can tell you that that's not going to work because I've done it, I've been there. You need to understand and feel and let this business resonate on you.
And do you think, would you guys ever raise capital, knowing all that stuff?
I think that as we look to scale with our growth plan right now, is that makes sense with the right partners. And I think that would allow us to take this model that we have and just keep duplicating it.
Yeah.
So in that sense, yes, but it's a different story for us now. We know what we're talking about. We can smell BS a mile away. We understand who are the key players that we need. We know where to get all and source everything that we need. We've created those relationships, and those relationships for us don't just stop in California. They extend across the country, Canada, the UAE, Europe, and Africa. So we are a small family company, but we're a big corporate entity.
Yeah. So would you apply, when you're looking for investors, would you apply the same, like a similar criteria to when you're looking at companies to invest in?
Yes. And from my past, what I do know is investors are partners. And your investors have to share the same why. Now, their why might be a little bit different, but the core of that vision of what you're doing, if they don't believe in that, then you don't want their money. If you don't believe in them, then you shouldn't be in business with them. There's good money and there's bad money. My mom always taught me that, and I'd rather have no money than bad money. So you want to be able to control what you're doing and control your why and control how you effectuate the market and how you move and create trends. So if you're going to take on an investor, make sure that investor or that investor group is rooting for you to move and create trends and set trends, get ahead of them. By the time someone is doing what we're doing, I want to be on to the next thing. And I need an investor that wants to be on to the next thing once we've made the industry think we're going this way.
What do you think is the best way for the average Joe to capitalize on the cannabis industry now?
The average Joe to capitalize on the cannabis industry now needs to meet people like Green Holdings Group. You don't just need a team, you need an army. And this is a rough and tumble business, just like entertainment was a rough and tumble business. So you want to know that you have people that have your back. And just getting in and trying to dip your toe in the water, when you do that, make sure that you're aligning yourself with people that actually know how to execute. Implementation is key. I met a lot of people in my life with a lot of great ideas, and a lot of those people have no money and no success. So implementation is key.
I've heard a lot from both you and Freddie about people. So what you're saying is, people are the most important aspect of everything, you know.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But people are the most important aspect of everything,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
You know, that's way beyond just business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to connect with someone. You know, when I meet someone, I don't want to know who you are and what you do. I want to know who you are and what do you stand for. What do you believe in? What's something in your life that actually impacted you and changed you? What's something that hurt you and made you better? You know, so
Yeah.
people are people are people. And if you just see people and hear them and let what they want and what they need resonate with you, you find an energy and you vibe with that energy, and that energy grows and it pulls more people in, and then next thing you know, you've done something bigger than you ever thought. Then you're Mr. Z sitting at home in his, you know, in his old age, sitting back and enjoying life and seeing his 2 sons flourish in this business, something that he started with Jack Herrera back in the day. He could have never imagined that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's extremely inspiring because it's just about, it's extremely simple, like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
People overcomplicate things, and this is complicated,
Mhm.
but it doesn't have to be chaotic.
Mhm. And it's very obvious from speaking with both you and Freddie that you guys still carry those principles that he instilled in the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a family-run company. It's
Yeah.
always going to stay, feel, and the people within our network are always going to be treated as such.
So is there anything else that you want to tell us about Green Holdings Group before we, you know, let you go?
I'm just very proud to be here. I moved across the country to join this company, and being in it for the past year and a half and seeing the significant growth, seeing the people that have just gravitated toward us and knowing where we're going is just incredible. You know, it's a phenomenal experience to believe in the people that you're partnered with, and it's a phenomenal experience to see people start to love and talk about and just long for things that you've created. That's a beautiful experience. Our big company launch is happening September 7th of this year. We're very excited about that because, you know, I want to make a statement and I want people to understand that we're not just newcomers to the market. We've been here, we've done that, and we're very proud of what we've been able to accomplish, and I'm more excited for what comes next.
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.